Ranbir Kapoor encapsulates multiple ideas in a single disarming package. The boy next door with the striking good looks. The 29-year-old successor to a decades-old family tradition. The actor with great potential who's just about coming into his own. And, on Frankly Speaking, the newly crowned Bollywood rock star who wants his audience to know why he does not fit the pigeonholes assigned to Indian stardom. Ranbir speaks his heart, perhaps as never before.
Ranbir, thank you very much for joining me on Frankly Speaking.
Thank you, sir.
It's a great pleasure to meet you once again.
It's a pleasure, man.
And many people who will watch you tonight will hope that, Ranbir, you're going to open up.
Yes.
Because everyone wants the stars to open up.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your growing up years first.
My growing up years was actually pretty normal. We didn't see dad much because, at that time actors were working 2 to 3 shifts. They were hardly home. They were shooting in Hyderabad, Ooty and Kashmir and all these places. So we've kind of not seen our father much, me and my sister. But we were very normal. We were never taken to a film set. Papa shooting, let's go meet him. We never followed that culture. So we had school. We used to come back, eat Maggie, do our tuitions, play with our friends. And
you get special attention because you were Rishi Kapoor and
in school?
Neetu Kapoor's son?
Yeah, absolutely. There are times when, elder students come and point at you in class and you're wondering why they're pointing at me. So there was a sense of, I'm somebody's child. That's why I'm getting so much attention. The teachers were kind of extra kind to me, even though I wasn't a good student. I wasn't good at anything in school. I was a very below average, may it be in sports and drama and in subjects. I wasn't too good. So I guess school life has been very boring for me, has been very unexciting.
When you saw your father, did you also want to be a star?
No, I don't think my father inspired me to be a star.
Others in your family?
I think my grandfather. I think his earlier work, I didn't know him. He passed away when I was really young. So I think seeing his films, it kind of made me want to be part of the movie, especially Shri Char Subis and his earlier work.
What was it about that?
I don't know, it was just somewhere his goodness reflected in it, the music, his vibe, the world that he was creating. I used to hear stories about how he used to produce, direct, act, write. He made an institution for himself.
Yeah.
At such an early age. He directed his first film, I think when he was 20, when he acted, directed and produced. And that's a mean feat.
So you liked 50s, 60s cinema. You didn't like the 80s, 90s
No.
cinema.
I thought 80s and 90s was quite a bad period for Indian films, barring a few films, of course. But we were very influenced. We were very lost. We were going through an identity crisis. But 50s was, I guess, the golden period.
So you didn't want to be a cinema star?
So I was never, as in my growing years, when I was 17, 18, I never thought I'll be a star. I never thought I'd be an actor.
An actor?
I didn't have, that burning drive and aspiration wasn't there yet. It came out a few years later, I guess, when I went abroad, New York, and I lived there alone. You start getting responsible, you start seeing the world, you see how the world functions.
You were responsible in New York?
I found responsibility there, eventually, and I think that was great. Apart from all the bad things that you do.
What were the
as
bad
a
things
student.
you did?
I mean, you think you take advantage of your freedom. You may it be alcohol, drugs, and stuff like that. You try all of that, but then
Why didn't you hide this? You did an interview
right.
about 2 or 3 years back, I think 2008, where you spoke about drugs.
Right.
Anybody else in your position would not have said that.
So I thought it was very important for me to be honest because I have tried in my life. I don't endorse it. I am very much against drugs. But the fact that I can talk about it is just to tell you that I've tried it and it's nothing that you need to change your life with or get hooked onto. If people look up to me, I think it's important for them also to know that I'm not here trying to be dishonest to you. I'm not trying to portray myself as this holistic person and I'm doing all the bad
Were
things.
you too
behind.
honest in that interview?
I was, because I remember when that interview came out, my father started getting calls from like lawyers and all that. He's a youth icon, and this may there'll be a case because he spoke about drugs. But I'm not endorsing drugs. I'm saying I've tried it in my life, and I realized it's not what I want to do in my life. That's exactly what I said.
Would you say it today?
If I was doing it today, of course I would say.
No, if you were to, if you with Today, with your experience, if you were asked the question, would you hide it or
No, so I
say?
wouldn't. I wouldn't hide it. I wouldn't really indulge too much in it because I think it can be misconstrued. I've realized how the media operates sometimes. Is that if I say a statement in your show, if that statement is highlighted in a promo of yours,
Okay.
they will probably take that statement and write an article about it. That really hampers it.
Yeah. Ranbir, I want our viewers to understand you far from the conventional things which you may be asked and the conventional things you may say. So let me try and understand the way you think. If you are offered a hell of a lot of money, a tremendous amount of money, will you dance at weddings?
No, sir. Uh, I wouldn't do it because I think it will, because of the family that I come from. I don't want people, I don't, again, having said that, I don't have anything against people who do it, but it's not something which I have, the values which I've been
Now,
brought up with.
what's Shah Rukh Khan says, I would dance at weddings, I would do this, I would do that, and it is, you're almost turning, your choice into a virtue
Right.
when you say that.
So
That
money
there's
is,
nothing
I
wrong
mean, what's
what's wrong with earning money by dancing at weddings?
there's nothing wrong. But first of all, money is not my drive. I don't want to earn billions and billions. I'm an actor. My drives are different. My passions are different. And I don't want to lose my dignity in my eyes by dancing in a wedding where people are standing with, you know, a glass of alcohol and there could be snide comments. I wouldn't want to, see any of my family member doing that. So it's just a personal choice. I would never do it.
Yeah. You think you lose a bit of your stardom by doing that?
I don't think I lose stardom, but I wouldn't allow my stardom to, make myself think that if I'm a star, I can do anything and get away with it.
Why are you not on Twitter? Everybody is on Twitter, and not being on Twitter runs the risk of not being available,
Right.
not being cool. Why?
So
Are you trying to protect yourself?
there are two reasons, sir. First reason is I don't have anything intelligent to say. I'm not that socially and politically aware to comment on things because I'm too caught up with my world, with my life, with my work.
Talk about your life. Why don't you talk about your
I'm very
life?
shy to talk about my life, and I think the main point is the mystery level. Back then actors had a mystery level because the media wasn't so large. Today actors are on television shows, they're on reality shows, newspapers, news channels. So there's so much of accessibility to us, anyways, that the mystery is dying. Uh, if I'm on Twitter and I'm expressing myself, I'm only killing my mystery. So the longevity that I could have as an actor, I'm only reducing it. So like I said, I can connect and talk to my people, through my films, through my characters. They like my work. Uh, a lot of people also started writing negative things about me in the past 1.5 years. A lot of, the Casanova image and all of that.
Is
Lot of-
that wrong?
it's not wrong, but a lot of people ask me, why don't you contradict it? If all this has been written about you, why don't you say something?
Why don't you?
I have 20 years to change that perception.
You could have contradicted it with 140 characters on Twitter or less.
I don't want to do that. If I do that, then I'm exposing myself too early to people. Let them grow with me. Let them realize who I am, what I am, what my capabilities are, what my drawbacks are, my pluses are through my journey. I think if I just expose myself so early in my career, it's been 3.5 years. I'm only killing myself.
Out of the three Khans, who is closer to where you'd want to be? No, no, don't, see the way, the question, who is closer to where you'd want to be? So you can't dismiss this question by saying, I want to be neither, I want to be myself.
Can I say I want to be all?
No, I think that's diplomatic.
That's diplomatic. Okay.
Think about
See,
it.
sir. Okay, let's see the start. Mr. Shah Rukh Khan has been the Badshah Khan, as people call him. He's had an amazing run. He's still on that run where he's such a big star. And the kind of films he did, he was the face of Indian cinema at one point. Amir Khan, I think, has really.
Are you going to say one nice thing about everyone?
No, I'm just trying to gauge it in my head. I'm thinking out aloud who I really want to be because I haven't really thought
Who is
about this.
closer to where you'd want to be?
I mean, I know it's very naive for me to say this and it's very childish and
No, no,
immature,
say
but
it.
I want to be beyond them. I want to go beyond them. I think to achieve superstardom, to achieve a certain level of success, if I keep a benchmark of current superstars, I will always, I will get content if I reach there. If I reach the Shah Rukh Khan stardom, I'll be content. I'm like, oh, I've achieved it. But I want to go beyond that. A, because I want to be also, I want to make movies, I want to direct movies, I want to act in my movies. So I like Raj Kapoor as my idol more than I can keep the three Khans as my idol.
That's very interesting, actually. That's very interesting. your parents married early, and they have had, a committed relationship to each other.
Right.
And I must say they're exceptional couple. They were sitting here sometime back in this interview, and it is said about you, Ranbir, that Ranbir Kapoor can't commit to any woman. Did this bother you,
No.
especially in the last 1 year?
It bothered me because of the hoo-ha that was made around it. Yes, I was in a relationship with an actress which was uh, talked about a lot. I had just started out. I was working with these glamorous actresses and I was friendly with them. My relationship with that actress did not work out. We broke up. But I think we were mature enough to deal with it in the right way. There was no, जैसे बोलते हैं ना रायता फैलाना post this, where people are talking badly about each other. It at least didn't come from my side. I feel that I've grown as a person. I've spent 1.5 years with that person, and that person has only added to my growth. I'll cherish that experience with her because I've learned so much about life, about commitment. You value commitment even more, with each relationship. But I'm not a commitment phobic. I've really just not met that person who I want to settle down with. It's not that because I feel I am an actor today and I will lose stardom if I marry. If I find a girl who I'm deeply in love with, I really want to marry because I feel this deep void inside me that I don't have anybody to share things with. I'm not expressive.
Not with your mom.
No, I'm not because I don't know what happened, but and it's something which I really am aware of and I want to do something about it. But me and my mother have, for some reason, just grown a little bit apart. The connect that we had. Yes, she's one person who I love the most, and I'm sure she feels the same towards me. But we've really I've just been too detached. I don't know why.
Detached
In life, I'm not expressing myself, hanging out with my friends, with my parents. I'm just too caught up with
That
my
must be
work.
the stardom of the last
It's
3 or 4 years.
it's not the stardom because I'm not enjoying it. I'm aware of it, and I'm feeling very lonely. I need to connect. I need to connect with my parents. I need to share. I need to make them happy. I need to hear them out. But I'm very conscious about it, and I want to do something
Is
about
it
it.
because you've got too busy?
Actually, sir, this last 1 year I've not been that busy. I've been more or less at home.
Are there too many hangers on around you?
Zero.
Are there sycophants around you also?
Zero.
Yes men and yes
They
women.
to me, even if I have like,
PR people, publicists. There are publicists all over nowadays. You
yes,
can't reach out
but
to.
I have another take on publicists, sir. I think PR is the death of an actor because what happens is if you use PR the wrong way, you start believing it. People who plant articles about themselves or about other actors, it becomes a very addicting game. And you start believing that my stardom is only dependent on how many times I featured on a certain newspaper. I think PR is something that you have to use very intelligently where your films are concerned. And you use PR intelligently when you're really doing something. When you don't believe in something, and if I'm going to this charity event for a PR exercise, it doesn't make sense because an audience sees through it. If you don't believe in something, they will always see through it. Like for example, Salman Khan believes in the Being Human Foundation. That's why it's such a big success. That's why people have, wear Being Human t-shirts. They look up to the man so much because he really believes in it. So unless you really have belief in it, just for the sake of doing a PR exercise, doesn't make sense.
Before the break, Ranbir Kapoor admits that he's grown detached from life and away from his family and urgently needs to renew the ties he cherishes most.
But me and my mother have, for some reason, just grown a little bit apart. The connect that we had, yes, she's one person who I love the most, and I'm sure she feels the same towards me. But we've really, I've just been too detached. I don't know why.
Ranbir, in an earlier interview, just taking off from what you said, here you were asked, isn't the money more important to you than why would you do a Pepsi commercial? And you said it's more of an emotional attachment.
Right.
That's emotional attachment
I'll tell you, sir.
to Pepsi.
I'll tell you, sir.
Is that what you meant?
Yes, I absolutely meant that. Not emotional attachment, but
you made it up because the Pepsi people would be happy.
No, not even that. Where I was coming from is that I think the reasons why I wanted to be an actor, Pepsi was a big part of that. Growing up, seeing Sachin Tendulkar, Shah Rukh Khan, Mr. Bachchan, and all these other famous football players doing Pepsi commercials, it kind of made me realize or made me understand, okay, this spells stardom also. Being part of Pepsi. Pepsi is a beverage which I drink. I don't not drink it, but I want it because of money. When I signed with Pepsi, I didn't sign it for a large amount of money. I just wanted to be a part of Pepsi because I wanted to endorse Pepsi. I wanted to dance in Switzerland. I wanted a red sports car, and I just.
You have a red sports car.
Yes, so and I have danced in Switzerland, and I'm endorsing Pepsi. So I mean,
That's good.
the reasons why I wanted to be an actor was, these were the reasons.
There can be no doubt that the son of actors Rishi Kapoor and Neetu Singh and the grandson of Raj Kapoor had to bear the burden of high expectations. Though Savarya failed at the box office, Ranbir, a trained method actor from New York, has worked his family legacy fairly hard within a relatively short canvas of releases. From his portrayal of the exuberant but self-absorbed college student in Wake Up Sid, to the understated Harpreet Singh Bedi in Rocket Singh Salesman of the Year, a film he was applauded for but nosedived at the box office. In 2010, first with Prakash Jha's political thriller Rajniti, and then Ajab Prem Ki Gajab Kahani, both widely accepted, Ranbir cemented his position as a commercially viable solo hero and Bollywood's next big phenomenon. From salesman to rock star, Ranbir Kapoor has evolved into his strengths, much like the love-jilted musician he portrays in his soon-to-be-released film Rockstar. In this interview, the actor calls this movie his life's most intense moment, a film that left him emotionally bankrupt.
Expectations are high when a big actor's son debuts, the grandson of Raj Kapoor, son of Rishi Kapoor. When you did Savarya, it got some critical acclaim. It didn't make money. Bachna Hai Hasino, was that your second?
Yes.
Did it make a lot of money?
No, but it wasn't a big flop also.
It wasn't a flop,
Yeah.
it wasn't a super hit,
No.
sort of established. But there were some people saying that is this going to be a Abhishek Bachchan kind of repeat? Are we going to see 15 films before a hit or something? I think you were also asked about that.
Yes.
Did you worry?
No, I didn't, sir. Because like I said, I'm here for the bigger picture, I know Bachchan Hai Hasino was not a special film. Savarya was a disaster. It was even a critical disaster, actually. But the kind of love and support I got from the film industry, from the people, was a bit...
How do you gauge love and support?
Because I got opportunities. I got opportunities to work with
Is that because of you as an actor, or is it because of the Kapoor name that you carry? That, you see, look at it this way, Ranbir. Nobody wants a young Kapoor male actor to be unsuccessful. It is not possible.
Yeah, but at the same,
How much was it your name and how much was it your luck
I think
or your ability?
it's everything, sir, put together. I was at the right place at the right time. I got the correct opportunities, the kind of blessings that my family has garnered over the years. I think people, but at the same time, you have your detractors too. The people who say, "Oh, he's born with a silver spoon." Ye to, star son hai. So your success will not be that appreciated if you worked hard. Also, if you're a newcomer from not a film family, then probably people say, "Arey wah, he's superb." But I believe that after 3.5 years, I've been successful in getting rid of that star son tag. I think people now recognize me for my work. I have an individuality. I am growing as an actor, and I hope that I continue doing so. I don't have a chip on my shoulder. That I come from this family, so everything will be easy. I understand the kind of hard work it
Do you
was.
go into depression when a movie doesn't do well?
No, I'm very detached that way, sir. So far, I've been detached to my movies.
Anjana Anjani, which I thought was a nice movie. I mean, it wasn't a fantastic, outstanding
Right.
Oscar-winning movie.
Right.
It was a nice, fun movie,
Right.
but it didn't do very well. How did you feel after that?
See, of course, you feel bad. It's not that you're like.
How long does it last?
It depends how attached you are to something. Like, for example, with Rockstar, I've really given a lot to this
Yeah.
film. I think that relationship I've had with Imtiaz especially is something I want this film to do well for Imtiaz more than I wanted to do for myself because of that person that he is. You know, he's a talent and he deserves it. And the amount of work and dedication he's put on this film, I would be really disappointed if it wasn't reciprocated by the audience. So I think,
I completely second that. I think Imtiaz is
right,
outstanding director, and I
right.
think he's got a long way to
Yeah,
go.
and apart from just an outstanding director, sir, I think he's a great guy. You know, and somebody who's really put in so much of heart, his own heart.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who's surrendered so much to a film. He deserves success. So I think I'll be disappointed if Rockstar doesn't do well. But like when Savriya was a disaster, I wasn't disappointed at all. Maybe it was the kind of process that we went through
You
it.
got a couple of debut awards, didn't you?
I got all the debut awards that year, sir.
You got all the debut
Yeah,
awards.
yeah.
So you must have been very happy.
Of course I was. You know, getting your first Filmfare award, you know, you've practiced that umpteen times as a
So
kid.
what? You've got a red sports car.
I have a Filmfare award.
You've got a Filmfare award. Huh?
I've danced in Switzerland
You've danced in Switzerland.
and I'm endorsing Pepsi.
You're endorsing Pepsi.
Right. And I'm
I'm
playing
not going to ask you how much you earn.
yes, and I play a rock star in my
And
next
you
movie.
play Rockstar in your next.
So life's good.
What next?
Lots, sir. This is just the beginning. Like I said, I'm not really content with anything that I've achieved so far because it's by default. I've been given too much. I've been given more than I deserve. But right now it's time that I put in the work. Right now it's time that I really prove myself. I've been called this next big thing, next superstar. You know,
Why next? You are the big
but I'm
thing,
not. I
aren't you?
guess the fact that people are calling me next is because I have not proved myself. Now, so I guess it's high time that I eradicate the next. You know, and I'm either a superstar or I'm not. Because if this next keeps going on, there'll be a guy from behind who nobody knows who will just come and become the superstar. You know, the industry is such. So I really have to work hard. I really have to kind of prove myself now.
How important is reviving the RK banner?
It's
The
important.
family name for you.
It's
I've
im-
asked your father that as well, and I know somewhere there must be a deep emotional connect. You see all these big cinema houses now producing banners. You want to produce
Well, I don't want to make it. I don't want to do like a conveyor belt production
production
house where I
house.
just have to belt out 4 films and all. I want to do it if it's coming out from deep place of passion. If I have something to say, I want to direct movies. But like I said, RK films was RK films because of the kind of films my grandfather made.
Yeah.
You know, it represented a certain uh, uh, time in India. You know, those characters, they were relatable. They were moral issues that he made films on. I can't make those films because my moral issues and my society is so different from that. So it has to change. So there is not because I'm making a film for RK, it has to be of that kind, of that milieu. You have to say something that naturally comes out of you. If you have a story to tell, that's what's important. I don't have a story to tell yet. The day I have, I will revive it.
How genuine is the attention that you get now with big stars? I'm not talking only female attention. How genuine is the attention that you get? Because I found it very interesting where you say, I feel the need to connect once again. I feel the need to connect with my mother. I mean, I haven't heard any star say that. That's
See, sir, the thing is that because it's such a fickle industry that you're in, sometimes you just get so swayed away by what's happening. I'm not saying that it goes to your head, but you start living in a different world. You know, you
like,
start behaving differently. Sometimes that character you're playing, you start behaving like that in your real life. Your relationship patterns with certain people, you know, there are uncanny similarities to what it is in the film. So you start losing, you know, your
sense.
touch with reality. You know what really means, you know, what has meaning to life, you know, like spending time with your parents or the simplest things, the value of a simple thing, you start losing the value of it. But I think it's very important because that's the only reason where, you know, you'll have a reality check in life.
Do you tell yourself, because there are stories, the biggest of stars have the most crazy of personal lives, stories of excesses, drugs, debauchery, relationships. I mean, everything that is heard, and I'm sure all of it can't be fantasy,
Right.
about the lives of some of the big stars appears totally bizarre, Ranbir. Now, you're not even 30. How do you ensure that when you're an even bigger star than you are today, at 35, say, or at 40, that you will not go down that path?
I hope I don't, but
You
I
have
guess
to tell yourself that.
I'd not only tell yourself that, you have to surround yourself with the right people, with people who've been with you, not just because you're a star, because, you know, yahan chadhte suraj ko salam karte hain, but because these are the people you've grown up with. You know, these are the people who not necessarily always have to talk about you. You know, they have their own problems that they can share with you, and if you really can give them a solution about a problem that somebody is having with their son who's not in films, you know, then you're in touch with reality.
Yeah.
But if you really want to just talk about your stardom and about your films and about this woman who I slept with and that actress who's really hot, that's when, you know, you really lose life, I guess.
Yeah. About 3 years back, I think after your first film had been released, I saw you walk into an airport lounge in Delhi and you walked in quietly with your sling bag, and you quietly went and sat in one sofa, and you were waiting, I presume, for your flight in Delhi, and you weren't instantly recognized, but then when people recognized you, they came to you. Today you can't do that. So can you?
I can, sir.
You can?
See, sir, you can do what
They'll say you're unassuming.
you can do whatever you want to do in life. You want to go walk on Lucknow streets, you can do that. People will come, they'll take your autograph, they'll take your picture, but you should feel good about it because it's actually a result of your work. If people don't recognize you, an actor really feels insecure.
Yeah.
And also, sir, I mean, this is a story which I've kind of mentioned before also. When I was a child, and I used to go out for family dinners with my parents. And if my father was too caught up in something, or if he was eating food, and some fans came to take his autograph or his picture, and he shooed them, and he said, no, no, I'm busy and all. I always looked at the fan's face, from childhood itself, and I always used to wonder, will this guy or this girl hate my father?
Yeah.
Will they watch my father's movies? So I kind of decided very early on that I will never deny any fan or any person for a photograph or a autograph because that's the least I can do. They are paying out of their pockets to see my movies, and if they want a picture and a autograph, it doesn't take much time. It's 2 minutes.
What's the most intense moment you've had?
Intense moment.
Intense moment either in life or on film that you can remember for me.
Describe intense, sir.
Intense as in something which has completely consumed you emotionally.
I think Rockstar, sir.
Tell me about that.
The character. I think the way Imtiaz, just to match up to the brilliance of Imtiaz, to kind of not disappoint him, to kind of be this person, to kind of go through the motions of this character, because this character becomes dark. This character suffers a heartbreak. If I don't have a reservoir of certain reference points which I can connect to feel this emotion, Imtiaz gave me a lot, from his life, for me to use as an actor, and I became really depressed after the movie. I don't know, because I emptied myself. Not that it was a depressing character, because I emptied myself and I felt empty. I felt a void. So I think that was the most intense I felt in my life, is playing this character.
Will we feel depressed after seeing Rockstar?
I hope not, because it doesn't. It's not meant to make you make you feel depressed. It's meant for you to feel love. And love can end in any way. But if you feel love, that's the success of a film.
So what's the let's end this interview with two images of Ranbir Kapoor. One, that sequence where you change shirts. I think computer graphics with 3 women shooting arrows at you.
Yeah. That's responsible for my Casanova's image. That film.
Oh, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other, the rock star of today. So which is the one that, and make a choice, which is the one which you want to cultivate as your image choice?
I want to keep changing, sir. I definitely don't want people to have an image of me so soon. I want to excel in every genre, and I want to be the best in every genre. And I hope that after Rockstar, my next film, which is Barfi, which is a comedic character. He's a chaplain kind of a character, chaplainesque. I hope people can, start relating to me with that character. So I guess with every character, I want to change my image. I don't want to be typecast in an image so soon.
Yeah. Ranbir, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for talking to me. Thank you. Oh, you enjoyed it.